We are here at RC15, so we have unlocked our third device. Let's take a look. When assigning only one ally, every 2 uses of a ranger hero's attack that targets all enemies decreases skill cooldowns by 2 turns. What this means is Robin can S2, S3, S2, S3 without ever using S1, and this alone makes it so that Robin can solo and you don't even have to give her any sort of weird gear. It's relatively normal Robin gear. Let's take a look at the other devices that we'll be using. We've got Vampirism to the Ranger Hero in the back row. This makes it so that Robin can sustain up. Even without any crit chance, just off of attack, we can survive without a healer. When a Ranger Hero in the back row uses Skill 2, extends debuff durations of the target by 1 turn, the final effectiveness chance increases to 100%. This makes it so that her S2 extends debuffs. Along with her S3 extending debuffs, you can permanently extend the authorities. Once you seal them, they'll never be released, and this also extends her burns for extra damage. Final effectiveness chance thing I went over in a different video, but it just means that you're not subject to 15%. Instead of being capped at a debuff success rate of 85, you can go to 100. And if we can solo at RC15, what are we doing at RC21? Because there's still more devices down here. At RC21, you can solo, but faster, because when assigning only one ally, decreases counterforce by 25 turns, so you only have 15 turns. But it instantly maxes out Shackle on the boss, so you instantly have the maximum burn damage and AoE damage boost, plus you get 100% crit chance and 350 crit damage. So this is just making it so you can solo, but faster. This was, I guess, a mild inconvenience with Ice Rift, where doing Fenny solo was kind of slow, so I guess they decided, hey, you can do it a bit faster now. So that is nice. We can solo at RC15 though, so let's go take a look at Robin's stats and the run, of course. Before that, I just want to mention, when you fail a Rift, you only lose energy if you've already completed a run. Like, let's say you 2-shot it, and you got it down to 30% HP left, and then you use up all your remaining chances. That is the only time you lose energy. Like, right now I have 76. You can go in. I missed the timing. We can try again. Once HP is reset, I still have 76 energy, because your energy is only deducted when you actually finish a run. This also means that if your Robin dies during the run, it's fine. Your Robin can die 3 times, and it's perfectly fine unless you don't have the damage to kill, because even if your Robin dies 3 times, you're not going to spend any energy. This also means I think it's a bit more important to be able to one-shot even if it's inconsistent, than have your damage be inconsistent. So let's take a look at our stats. For your stats, the main thing is you want 120 effectiveness. This is just because the boss has 120 F-res in order for us to be consistent with our debuffs due to the 100% effect chance device. We need 120 effectiveness. Easiest way to do this is just, you can see all my gear here. I've got 32, 24, 16, and hit set. This is the showdown right sides plus some random left sides. And this is just the easiest way, it's the showdown gear. If you don't have this, you can use an effectiveness main ring here. This would be the ring from Wyvern, probably. Furious gives you a ring. There's also the ring from Arena. You can use the Arena one because it has higher attack. Now we have way too much effectiveness, so at this point you could just opt to look for higher attack ones instead, and there's not really much room for me to drop effectiveness on these pieces just because of my gear. But even with this lower attack, you should still be able to one-shot fine, just because this setup here kills with like 9 turns remaining. So you're gonna be fine. You could even just like, you don't have to go hit set. Like, if you have some other crafted gear, this is the only gear I have, but if you have some other crafted gear that has effectiveness on it, you could just use that. Because my chest pieces and my helm and my sword all had no effectiveness on them. So that alone means that you could have more effectiveness than what I have here, just because I only had effectiveness on 3 pieces. Anyways, that's it for her effectiveness. For her speed, 209 minimum is what I recommend. There's probably setups for her to work slower, especially once you hit RC21. I think you're probably like much more willing to go slower. But 209 speed is the speed that allows you to take 3 turns every time the boss takes 2. This is really nice because it helps you stay sustained, helps you extend debuffs more, but also at the very start of the fight is when the boss does the most damage, and stealing the authorities makes him do no damage because the authorities have 20% death pen per authority. So this speed helps a lot with getting those down quick. A little bit of bulk is appreciated, of course, just for getting through that initial authority phase, like I mentioned. And then, of course, we want attack to actually do some damage. For artifact, you have a lot of options. POV is honestly a nice one, just for getting through that initial part if you're lacking the bulk. Like, I have a lot of wasted stats into crit chance and crit damage. Besides POV, you could go for really any stat boosting one. If you need effectiveness, personal one works fine. If you want more healing to make up for a lack of bulk, you can use Bloodstone. You use some attack boosting one like Frantic Flight or Warhorn. I'm just going to leave her on POV, but now we can go take a look at her run. So at the start of the fight, the boss takes a turn instantly, which does mean that the starting 0 to 5% CR that both units will get gets nullified because the boss already took a turn. This also means that us taking the third turn here is going to be consistent. You'll see that the boss is doing a bit of damage right now. We're going to seal one of the authorities here, but it's going to start doing a lot less damage after we seal the other ones. Our POV is pretty overkill for tanking though, so we're safe. Even, like, we're very safe now. You can see that does, like, no damage, even with the death pen from us not being a knight. And from here, you're pretty much just good to go. Again, we took 3 turns before the boss took 2. And this is consistent because when the boss pushes to 100% like that, it's a sinking turn. It just means that any CR variance, both Robin and the boss, is gone when the boss pushes up like that. And it'll always be the exact same timings and everything now because it's only based on their speed. But you're just gonna go. You just go spam S2, S3, extend the birds. You can see the authorities never get sealed at this point. Your damage is going to look a little bit low at the very start. It's once you get this shackle fully stacked that your damage starts really racking up from all of the burn damage that's stacking up. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It does feel a little bit long, though this team is not optimized, of course, just because, well, team, but my gear on my Robin isn't very optimized because this is a new account, which is lacking a lot of gear. Definitely could be set up better artifacts, better gear. I have so much wasted crit chance and crit damage stats. Just have higher damage and end this run faster. There might be like a faster variation where you run her a lot faster on higher speed and you clear better, but this still clears fine. And like I mentioned, at RC21, you get the device that boosts your crit damage and crit chance to max and instantly max shackle, so you're gonna be able to kill him pretty fast by then. Anyways, that's it, and I'm just gonna let it play out, but yeah.
조용히 살고 싶었는데요. 한 번에 끝내주세요. 아프잖아. 착하게 살지 그랬어. 내가 할 말은 없나? 애들 장난이고. 조용히 살고 싶었는데요. 아프잖아. 한 번에 끝내주세요. 장난은 끝났어. 애송이다. 이제 쉬나 싶었는데. 착하게 살지 그랬어. 내가 할 말은 없어? 아프잖아. 애들 장난이고. 조용히 살고 싶었는데 말이야.
This is a run I'm doing with the lower attack one, the one using the F main ring. I'm showing that we still kill fine. Like, okay, we're gonna need one more turn, but this is going to die with, like, probably 9, 8, maybe 8. We're gonna S3. Now we're S2ing here, so it's gonna die with 9 turns remaining. And I was trying to yield, but anyways, I'm just going to firm, and we can check her stats. This is the lower attack one, and we still managed to kill with 9 turns remaining. So you definitely don't need to worry about having enough attack. You can use an F main ring and it'll be fine. Since we had so many turns remaining, you could opt to even go a bit lower, or not, maybe not opt, but if your gear forces you to go a bit lower attack, then you'll still be fine. And that's it, I guess, for Robin and Rift in general. We're solo one-shotting at RC15. There's not really anywhere else to go from here. Like I mentioned at RC21, we do get the device. Maxes out Shackle instantly, maxes our crit chance, maxes our crit damage. That will make us solo faster. So that's really the only upgrade from here, besides like gear, artifact, that kind of stuff. Robin and Rift is pretty much done. How is Robin and Rift so far? I mean, she's pretty good. Solo one-shot at RC15. We do need to see, of course, how hard one-shotting is without Robin. It wasn't even possible on Ice Rift. Or Fire, or not Fire, for Earth Rift. One-shotting was possible and not that bad. It was slightly less consistent, only 97.75% consistent compared to the 100% consistency of the Wukong solo, but we'll have to see, really, just can we one-shot without Robin, and that will pretty much determine whether or not Robin is worth rolling at all or how good she is. So next, I'll be pushing RC21, and we will take a look at teams that don't use Robin at RC21.